it just shows how like the morals of that society are just rotten. Sorry to say, I have nothing against Netherlands, but that's just wrong. You don't do that.
I'm a king, yes, I'm a king.
Hello, my name is Christine Nyoto from Kenya. Today we are in Nairobi. We are at the back and we want to talk to the people about a Dutch tradition that is called Zwarte Piet, which is also in English called blackface. We want to know their views about what they think about this Dutch tradition. Stay tuned. So I'm going to show you guys a glimpse of the video that we are talking about, and then you tell me what you think about it, okay? So watch carefully.
This is Zwarte Piet, and that's Dutch for Black Pete, and he's St. Nicholas's traditional assistant. He's the guy who carries all the presents around and punishes all the bad kids. You can kind of think of him like one of Santa's elves, except he is a blackface caricature. Black Pete has painted black skin and big gold hoop earrings and oversized red lips, and he wears colorful Renaissance-era clothing. Throughout Belgium and the Netherlands, people dress up as Black Pete around St. Nicholas Day. This is what that looked like in 1930 in a small town north of Amsterdam, and in 1970 at a local gym, and in 2006 at an elementary school, and in 2014 at a parade.
So you've already gotten the gist of this Dutch tradition. What's your take on it?
For me, it's kind of racism, and it's kind of like we are more inferior than the whites.
I think it's a bad perception.
My view is that, they're doing good to assist people, to assist those people who are poor maybe in the society. But the problem is that when you paint people that color, diminishes people's culture.
Black Pete is a racist caricature. It's a remnant of the Netherlands' colonial past, and this tradition is now at the center of a heated political debate.
That is so wrong. Oh my God. No, just to think that, guys, this day and age, thinking if the scripts were turned and we had our own and then we started painting ourselves white, how would that reflect on them? It's just wearing the other shoe. Yeah, it's about wearing the other shoe and thinking how I'm portraying this type of people to my kids with such a negative connotation.
Personally, I think it's very wrong for people to discriminate us as black people. So it really is not good to have such a character acting as a black.
I think the tradition is somehow, it's discriminating the black people, and I think it should be terminated, yeah.
Mostly I think it's not such a bad thing, because you see that this guy who is painted in black also gives presents to the kids who do good. So I see him as a kind of superhero who will reward you if you do good, and he'll punish you if you do wrong. So either a white or a black person who does that, I think I would associate that person with goodness, as in he's trying to make a world a better place. So I don't find it wrong, as in fact, it's a privilege that a black person is rewarding kids for doing good. So I take it as a positive thing.
Those in the Netherlands who defend Black Pete argue that it can't be changed because it's a tradition that's been around forever. The Prime Minister even made this argument when he was asked about it at a nuclear security summit in 2014.
Because what I said is that Black Pete is black, and I cannot change that, because the name is Black Pete. This is a old children's tradition, Sinterklaas and Zwarte Piet, Black Pete, and it is not green Pete or brown Pete, it is Black Pete, so I cannot change that.
They can keep their tradition but stop the racism.
I think basically children are affected by what they see from the very start. So having the black people doing that really taints really, what are we teaching our children? Are we teaching our children to discriminate the black people? Are we teaching our children, okay, but I think even though they're saying that the children don't see color, it really has a lot of effect on our children. Yeah.
My opinion is that children can also copy paste. When they see on the social media, maybe they are being told from other people, like the media, so they can copy paste and they can grow up with that mentality. So I don't support the issue at all.
That's just wrong. It's just wrong. Like, why would you do that?
It's indoctrination. Think about it. It's indoctrination because these are kids. And whatever a child sees at that age, they take it in, they soak it up. So by the time this kid is 12 years, after, once 10 years of the same thing is being repeated, it's in.
It just shows how like the morals of that society are just rotten. Sorry to say, I have nothing against Netherlands, but that's just wrong.
You're messing with kids. If this is a bad person, you tell them, okay, you see a dark guy, this is a bad person, you didn't do what you needed to do through the year, so this guy is gonna punish you. First of all, is it a true thing? Is it fictional? Because if this is a fictional person, you're really playing with some, you're really playing around with someone's foundation.
Honestly, I'm not seeing color in this. I'm seeing a disciplinarian, like an authoritative figure. Like we have our parents who will reward you when you do good, and they will punish you if you do wrong.
On top of that, you'll hear a lot of people say that the black face paint is okay because it doesn't represent skin color. Instead, it's just soot from the chimney. But historically, neither of those defenses is actually true. Zwarte Piet was originally written as a black slave character, and the blackface tradition was invented fairly recently.
My question is then, why do they have to paint themselves black? Why can't they give the gifts? Their children are white. I'm white. Yay, it's Christmas. This guy comes and if you did good, this white guy still comes and that's the thing. You might say, yes, you're very right. Children don't see color. They're taught color. They're taught color.
We're also guilty of the same. Definitely. Like right now, this is the Christmas season, right? Go to most malls, you'll find black people painted in white. Yeah. So they want to show that is Santa. Santa is white, he comes bearing gifts, and so he must be a white person, so I'll paint myself white if I'm going to reward these kids as Santa. So we are also guilty of the same. We can't call that racism, as in racism. Yeah, it's not wrong, it's right, we're doing the right thing, as in this. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see it.
If they were genuine, then they would have kept his accent. He wouldn't need to go, what is a chimney? A transformation tube that you've gone, fine, I'll get the suit on your face going through the chimney. But I don't think the suit will affect your accent, will affect your lips. But that's my 2 cents though. Yeah,
That's really interesting. Final words?
Okay, my final word to us black people is that we should not be too defensive every time something small happens. As in, not everyone is racist. We think too much into what the white people do. We act the victims all the time. And I don't think that is what they want to do. So we should stop overthinking things, yeah? And just enjoy life. I'm proud to be African, and I don't see color. Honestly, I don't see color. And in this, I'm looking at the kids, and I'm thinking that, in fact, they'll admire this person because he rewards when you do good and punishes you when you do wrong. That's our parents, white or black. That's what our parents do. Yeah, so Africans, come on.
I don't know what racism is. I know what tribalism is because that's what I can assume. I know that's what affects us. But you see, tribalism affects us the way racism affects them. So we might sit here and say, we are Africans, no, we need to chill, If you haven't experienced it, you can't say we need to chill because you don't know what it is. I have friends who recently just went abroad and they're telling me, this is 2018, to him it's such a shock because he's never experienced that in his life. He's never seen you're walking towards a lady who is white and she grabs her bag for no specific, and you know yourself, you know where you're from. You will find that offensive because you're wondering, okay, what's wrong with me? You're feeling a certain type of way.
You have heard it all from different people with different voices. To some, it's all racism. To others, there's no racism associated to it. What do you think? I have been your host, Christine Amolo Nyota, reporting for Africa Web TV.
Are you watching? Are you watching? So I want you to click that subscribe button, like button, share, subscribe, everything, because we're going to be bringing you more juice, more stories, more everything here on Africa Web TV.
No drive test. I love the person in the mirror if you like vex. Body lotion. I feel myself. Don't be a hater, it's something part of my nature.